So welcome back to another video. In this one I want to talk about why I think Amazon is penalizing sellers with their reviews, some evidence for this and some fixes at the end of the video, which you should definitely stick around for because it's going to help you try and kind of get over this, I don't know why, it's the kind of discriminatory view Amazon has of their sellers using the reviews. So very kind of interesting video today that I don't think many people have covered. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So what I have on the screen now is two different products and their reviews. Now you can see that one is rated a 4.6 out of 5 and one is a 4.7 out of 5. And what I really wanted to cover in this video is how Amazon is weighting their reviews differently. So for example, how a 1-star review will be more powerful than a 5-star review. And I'm sure anyone who sells on Amazon would have realized this in the past, that if you get one 1-star review, it can mess up your ratings so much more than getting a 5-star, 4-star, anything like that. For example, myself, I can get multiple 5 stars day after day after day, and it will not change my rating at all compared to getting one 1-star or one 2-star, anything like that. And rating will drop, and it will take a very long time to try and get that back up again, because I believe Amazon ranks their reviews differently, just in kind of how heavily they favor them towards that overall rating. And I got some proof for this, which I'm going to show you right now. So what I went ahead and did, which was, to be honest, a bit of a tedious process, was I went to each product and I counted the number of ratings or reviews each one had for the number of stars. So for example, the product with the 4.7 average had 132 ratings for 5-star, 16 for 4, 5 for 3, 1 for 2, and 2 ratings or reviews for 1-star. Now in comparison, the other results are over here. And I think we'll start with these ones because these are ones that I really care about. So I've put in all the metrics just as I did for the other product, and the average star rating is 4.63. Okay. Now for anyone who did, I don't know, like GCSE maths or even primary school maths, you'll know how rounding works. Anything less than 5, so 4, 3, 2, or 1, you round down. So just like Amazon has done, the star rating for this product was 4.6 because it's 4.63. With the 3, you round down to 4.6. Okay. Well done, Amazon. Really good maths there. Super impressed. With the other product, we have 4.76. Now, anything including a 5 and above is rounded up. Again, going to GCSE maths. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is rounded up. So here we've got 4.76. So that should be a 4.8 rating, which generally is a 5-star rating, which again is amazing. We all want to try and strive for that and get to that point. You cannot get any higher than a 5-star average, and that's really what the customers look at. They don't really care if it's a 4.8, 9. In my opinion, I think as long as you've got 5 stars, that is the main thing. Now, also, from what I've noticed in the past, a 5-star to a 4.5-star rating has never really changed my sales that much. It's never really made that much of a difference. But that's besides the point. What the point of this video is why Amazon makes it so hard to achieve that status. Because again, as GCSE maths tells us, this should be rounding out to 4.8, which would be a 5-star average. But the rating for this product on Amazon is 4.7. Now, unless Amazon didn't take GCSE maths, they're making it harder for us to get 5-star reviews. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, to me, it matters that it shows that the lower star reviews actually weigh more heavily, and Amazon doesn't want you to get the 5 stars. They want to reserve that for people who have the absolute best products possible, and hardly any 1, 2, 3 stars, which in most cases just isn't really possible. Even if you have the best product in the world, it doesn't mean you're going to have the best customers, frankly, and there's always going to be someone who's going to find an issue with something. And I'm sure if you've sold any type of physical product or even digital product like myself, you'll know that there's no way to please everyone, and someone is going to find an issue with what you provide. So it makes it almost impossible to get that 5-star rating most of the time, especially when Amazon is working against you with general rounding up like this. But regardless, I'm going to go through now how you can try and reduce these lower reviews that you get to hopefully increase this average even with Amazon fighting against you. So reducing negative reviews, and for a negative review, I'd kind of consider this anything from a 3-star and down. So 3 stars, 2 stars, and 1 stars. Because really, are you happy when you get a 3-star? Most likely not, so I consider it as a negative review. So the first way that I'd go ahead and do this, and I could have kind of split these up into 2 points, but I don't want to bait everyone like that, so this is all just 1 point. Insert cards and email automation sequences. Now, obviously insert cards in your product packaging are a good idea in all scenarios. I don't know why you wouldn't do them. Most of the time, like suppliers I work with, they're doing it for free, but even if it's say 5 pence to include it in your product packaging, I think it's a great way to get through to customers, considering that the next option, the email automation sequences, will not reach every customer. So what I mean by that is most customers you'll know opt out of email automation sequences, opt out of getting emails from you, the seller. So by having an insert card in your product, you are guaranteeing that every single customer of yours is going to get some form of communication from yourself. Now, this insert card can have a way to leave a review, which I normally do on mine, and also a way to contact you. So even if they don't get the email about contacting you with any issues, they can still get the insert card so that if they do have an issue, they've got the card right there just as they open the product and there's any issues to have a way to contact you. Now, whether you think customers use this or not, it's completely up for debate. I think they do. I think it helps. And for me, with it being free with how my supplier does it, I include it every single time. I don't see a reason not to. And even if they charged 5p, I'd probably still chuck it in there. Even if they charged 10p, I'd probably still chuck it in there, just because I think it does have an effect. Now, next up, the email automation sequences. Notice how I've said that instead of the request a view button, because as I went over in my last video, customers cannot reply to the request a view button. So when you press that button and Amazon sends out their automated review request, a customer cannot reply to that, and you cannot customize that to tell a customer to contact you for any reason. Now, I would recommend watching my last video about the new email rules before doing anything like this, because you don't want to break the rules or say anything or use any type of language Amazon have said you can't use, which is, again, a bit vague, but I definitely recommend watching that video. But in these email automation sequences, we can give the customer an option to contact us. So if they do have an issue, then they can press that button, contact us, and resolve any issue before they leave that 1, 2, or 3-star review. And even if they've had a negative experience, sometimes just how you deal with that scenario can lead to a 5-star review. I've had it happen multiple times in the past. So moving on to point 2, very, very simple, have a good product. There are people I see sell products that are just bad products. They know they don't work, they know there's issues, and they don't resolve them. If you are getting multiple complaints about the same issue with your product, then maybe it isn't the customer, maybe there is actually a genuine issue with your product, in which case maybe there's not so much you can do for your current batch of stock, but you can contact your supplier, fix the issue, and make sure it doesn't happen again. If you have a bad product, then there's not really much you can do in that sense. You can't blame the customer. You can't have insert cards or email automation sequences to try and fix every single issue if there is a clear issue with your product in the first place. So second point is what I would stress: get samples, make sure the product is up to the quality you need it to be to ensure you don't get any of those negative reviews. And if you have a good product, you're going to kind of reduce any negative reviews you should get anyway. It's just the 1 or 2 bad customers you'll get that will leave those, but with that amount you should be fine for a 5-star average. Last point is maximize your IBP. Now, what is this? Immediate buyer perception. Your product packaging, what your product basically comes in. I've had many products come in the past in just a clear poly bag, and before I've even opened it, I think it's cheap, it's tatty, I just don't have the same opinion of the product. For example, I got a little desk mat the other day to stop my computer grinding on the table because I've lost all the feet to the Mac, the little rubber feet things, and it grinds across and I hate it. Got this product and it came folded up in a poly bag, and to be honest, I just couldn't bother to return it, so I kept it anyway. But as soon as I got this, the way it was folded, the way it was in a poly bag, I just immediately thought this is just a crappy, cheap product. If that had came in an actual box and it was folded up nicely and done nicely, had a nice insert card, the packaging was all printed over, I would have had a much better opinion of this product before I even got it out of the packaging. If you think your product is bad, or if a customer thinks your product is bad before they've even seen it, then that's already putting you in a bad position that any little issue with your product after that point is going to amplify the emotion they already have towards your product. But again, I've had clothes delivered in the past, and I'm sure you might have had this as well. The bags they come in, some of them are just kind of textured, and just having the quality on that bag. When you get the item of clothing, I got an item of clothing today, got it out, and it wasn't as thick and heavy as I thought it was going to be, but just by having that product packaging first, I already had the kind of idea in my mind that it was high quality and it felt high quality, and when I got it out and it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, I still kept that, I was still happy with it, and I think a lot of that might have been that I already had the perception of it being good quality before I even seen the product. So those are my top 3 ways to try and reduce the negative reviews you get. Give the customer a way to contact you, whether that be through insert cards or email automation sequences. Have a good product, obviously just is going to help in any scenario of getting negative reviews, and maximize your IBP, your immediate buyer perception of your product, so they have a good idea in mind of your product before they even see it, which is just going to reduce any negative thoughts they have of it when they get out of the bag or the box, whatever. If anything goes wrong, they kind of already have an idea that it is good quality, even if maybe for some reason it may not be in that case. So that basically does it for this video, guys. Again, wrap this up really quickly. Subscribe, thumbs up, notification, comment. Appreciate it all. I'll see you in the next one.